Hey everyone, and welcome back to On a Water Break, the podcast where we talk about everything you and your friends are talking about at a rehearsal on a water break. This week, we are talking about all things winter guard. We'll also find out what made Nicole say,
like I said in the last one, there's a lot of new instructors coming up sometimes, and they are fresh off of tour or aged out. So
all this and more on this week's episode of On a Water Break.
8 off the mat and go.
Welcome to On a Water Break, the podcast where we talk everything marching arts.
Everyone, bring it in.
It's time for a water break.
Hey everyone, it's Alicia. We have a great episode this week, and it's all about winter season. Yes, DCI has wrapped up, and while the majority of us are in fall marching band mode, independent guards across the nation are gearing up for winter season. So before we see who's on the sidelines this week, go and subscribe on your favorite listening app, write us a review, share this with a friend. If you've got a question or a good topic to talk about, email us at onawaterbreak@gmail.com. Or find us on social media and DM us if you want to be on the show. We even have a form now that you can fill out if you want to be a guest, and that link is in our bio. So, sidelines this week. Nicole, hello. How's your summer going? Are you still on tour?
while we're recording this, yes, but when we air it, no.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'm
that
just
was such a dumb question.
That's okay. It's great. It lets people know what we're doing at the off time.
We're working in advance here.
Right. I have 3 more days at home, and then I fly out to meet Academy for the last week of tour. It's pretty fun. We've got there's a couple of shows before we actually start, like prelim semifinals. But man, I haven't been this proud of a group of kids in a really long time. And I'm so happy to go back, be with them for the last week and, just be their cheerleader.
Aww.
And, kiss it goodbye, because this is literally, I know I have some friends that are like, didn't you say you quit teaching? And I was like, yeah, but this is really the last thing, like drum corps. I'm done teaching drum corps. So, but
listen, you couldn't pay me enough to teach summer band. Just couldn't do it. It's too hot.
I didn't know that until I got to the desert. Because we're doing drum corps in the desert.
Well, I will say you guys should be very proud. I love Academy Show this year. I think the production is beautiful and the idea is beautiful, and I've been all about it all season. So we'll just say, because this is airing after final, congratulations on an amazing season.
Thank you so much.
Also on the sidelines this week, we have Angela and Adam Miller from Meridian Independent Guard out of Lexington, Kentucky. Hi, guys. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
How are you all doing?
Good.
I'm glad that you all asked us to be on the show. It's great.
Yeah. This is
exciting. Yeah, we're thrilled to have you on the show. We have a little thing we like to do with our new friends, though, called the 32 Count Life Story. We give you 8 off the Met. We don't count it for you. You have to count yourself in now, but you get 8 off the Met, and you tell us everything from the beginning of your life up to this very moment in 32 counts, if you can do it.
Who gets to go first?
Adam's about to say who's going first, so glad that's Adam. Adam, are you ready for it? Because I'm ready with the message.
Let's go for it.
Oh, here you go.
All right. My name is Adam Miller. I'm one of the co-directors of the Meridian Winter Guard. I started off in this area. It was in the local high school, middle school, high school band, graduated, marched a drum corps a long time ago called the Cavaliers. Got some drum corps experience there. Got back, went to school. I was actually a music major for a while. Got interested in the law. I'm actually a lawyer by trade. And so during the day, I'm a criminal defense lawyer. I've done that for like 25 years. I was blessed over the last 25, 30 years to be around some great people in marching band activities. I worked with a lot of bands in this area, in the Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana. Judged a little bit. And a few years ago, we started the Winter Guard. I'm going to pass it off to her where we started.
Good job.
I had no idea that you were a lawyer.
Yeah, a lot of people who know me in the band world think I'm a band person, and it's like the same thing. Like people, like I've been around a lot of people in the lawyer politics world, and they're like, "I can't believe that you are in the band," and I was like, "Yeah." So yeah,
We have another person that we have on from time to time, Jonathan Lischek, and he's a lawyer as well.
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was about to say, I know 2 lawyers that are also guard people.
Honestly, you would be really surprised when I went to law school. I know this is about color guard, but you'd be really surprised how many people that I went to school with that had music degrees or like they were interested in composition. It's actually it's very interesting actually.
There's something there, like with the analytical mind
Yes,
and the
probably.
creative or something. Cool. Well, fantastic job. I didn't actually count how many counts that was. I
It
let
was
that
probably like 34 count.
fade out of there. So, but Angela, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, Adolph the Met, here you go.
Okay, so I started out with my career in band when I was in high school at Lafayette. And after that, I kind of walked away from band for a while and went towards my career. And my career is an elementary school teacher. So by the day, I teach second graders. And then in the evenings, I work with winter guards. I met Adam actually as my husband. We were working with marching band guards. So that's how, and it's morphed into having Meridian now.
That was pretty good. That was concise. Yeah. Oh, I should give you some applause for that one too. Adam got some.
So, Angela, you went to the
Lafayette, Lafayette in Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah.
I was a cheerleader too.
Oh. I have lots of, Robbie, like my friend, you all know I used to live in Kentucky. So,
yes.
Yeah. I was like, okay. All right, Lafayette.
Yes.
Nice stuff. All right.
So your life stories led all up to Meridian. Tell us a little bit about Meridian, how you got started, what your vision is.
So, really, long story short, when it was 2018, and it's one of the things that kind of set us apart. Like we never really envisioned on creating like an independent guard. We were just, we were kind of finishing up doing band stuff. We're like, it'd be fun to do an indoor line. So we actually started Meridian as juniors guard. So, I think we actually kind of started at the base, and really, make a long story short, as our kids got older, we changed the guard in order to do that. And, we weren't even an A-class guard until 2 years ago. And make a long story short, we're at the local show, and there's some people, it's like, hey, I'm getting ready to graduate from high school. Would you all ever consider doing that? And we're like, we never really thought about it. Like we're independent, but we were basically an independent regional A guard. But we've really kind of morphed out of a juniors guard, which I think is kind of unique because, that was kind of our interest, was just teaching the students. We have a lot of instructors now that have gone on that like they're teaching their own lines. So our guard, not only in the staff and the membership, and especially in our adult line, they teach themselves. They're either teachers or they're instructors in band.
Yeah.
Cool. So do you have a lot of members that have been with the program a long time then?
We do. We have some that have started with us when they were in third grade because we weren't intending to do an elementary line. We were like, when we did that in the state of Kentucky, everybody's like, y'all are crazy. But where I teach second grade and they know that's what I do for fun on the weekends and in the evenings, they wanted to know more about it. So we started just kind of the club thing. And then decided, let's go out and compete them that first year. And that was the COVID year. Yeah. So we went out and undefeated. And then the superintendent comes to a practice and said, I'm sorry, we have to shut you down. So we're like, oh. So the next season we went on to be virtual with WGI and Tri-State. So we did well. And then, but we've had some kids who have been with us there. Because our meat and butter has always been bread and butter, should be, I should say probably the IRA because they were all middle schoolers.
So we have kids that are like 6-year members.
Yes. This is the first season, if you look at the IRA, that we've ever had somebody be able to drive themselves to practice. Our IRA is middle schoolers and a couple of high schoolers. But now our big group of them are moving up to 9th grade. So they've been with us for like 6 years.
Yeah. So we have multiple members that have 4, 5, 6 years. So like we have really got to see them grow up. And they're just, that age that's been with us is just now getting to a stage where they're ready to probably move up to the next, guard that we have.
Yeah.
Awesome. I do remember seeing you all at WGI last year, and I could say, like, just following you through the season, tremendous improvement. So
Thank you.
watched you all at the convention center. Yes, the convention center. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's something that we, you can't, like, I've been doing this for 30 plus years, but I had never really, gone to Dayton. I had like worked the event before, the percussion side of it, just volunteering, but I'd never, worked with a group that's gone there. So we've learned a lot as a staff. It is a lot of fun. It's really neat to see the kids, because a lot of time our membership, it's the first time they've ever been to World Championships. So they get to take in that initial, and I remember that as a performer, like, going to a drum corps show for the first time, going to World Championships the first time. It's really neat to kind of see them kind of experience that. So, but I appreciate the kind words.
Thank you.
So how many guards does Meridian actually have as a whole for the program?
3.
You have 3. Okay. So you've got
and then the cadet line, the independent regional A, and then the independent A.
Okay, cool. Wow. I think having that cadets line really sets you guys apart, like just as a program as a whole. I don't know that I've ever seen your cadet line either. I know I've seen your other 2.
The cadet line only has gone exhibition, but they'll be, since it's something new in our circuit to compete, they'll actually compete this season.
Well, we did the virtual season.
We did do. I'm sorry. Yeah,
but,
we did.
But like, we have not. That first year, the COVID year, we came out as a juniors guard. Of course, they canceled the season. And then after that, we've either done virtual or we've gone out to like the local events. Our local circuit's tri-state. So we've done that, but we haven't competed them.
Yeah. Cool. So we want to take some time real quick. We'll come back and talk more about it, but we want to take time to preview some of the amazing episodes and bonus content we have going on. Trish just wrapped an episode with the 1934 Foundation. It was all about legacy and preserving core history. That was fantastic and is out now. So be sure to go back and check that out. It was dramatic news, let me tell you. Our text thread was blowing up afterwards. So go see what you missed and listen to that one. Jackie's DCI correspondents have now wrapped up their tour. They crushed it all summer with tour reporting. So check out their content. We had a newer correspondent join us at the end of the season, Jay from the Blue Coat. So check that out. And then be on the lookout for a super special new series from On a Water Break this winter as we follow along through the season with a few different indoor programs and highlight the ups and downs of the winter season with them. We are definitely going to be seeing Meridian again. So we will get back out on the field for a few minutes and we'll come back with you on the next water break.
Celebrating its 25th anniversary, Guard Closet was founded as a consignment shop in 2000. Since then, it has grown to become your one-stop shop for the marching arts.
Do you need consignment uniforms and flags for your color guard, marching band, or drumline? We have thousands of sets of consignments in stock and ready to ship.
Do you need show design and custom choreography? Our designers have years of experience in the marching arts.
Do you need to sell your items and clear out your storage areas? We take in more than 600 sets of consignments each year and return hundreds of thousands of dollars to our consigners for their sales.
Do you need to have your students order shoes, gloves, and other equipment? We can set up a microsite for easy student ordering of a wide variety of items.
Do you need custom costumes or flags? We can help get you great designs from our team through top vendors like Show Day Designs.
Have you listened to our podcast On a Water Break? Weekly episodes and bonus content keep you entertained and informed with what's going on in the marching arts.
For over 25 years, Guard Closet has been here to help. Check us out at guardcloset.com or follow us on social media.
All right, so why don't we see what is happening in the news this week? I love our new sound. It's just such a groove.
Right?
Nicole, I think you're up with our first story, right?
Okay. This isn't, I don't have paper, so I wanted to do that so bad, so I just grabbed the mail. Anyway. Like I said, Angela and I were talking about this because it's just so hot everywhere. And honestly, I don't understand how, people are dealing with it, but there are safety protocols in place. However, 11 band members were taken to the hospital amid practices in Mississippi heat, and it's rising a debate about rehearsal safety. So I'm just going to paraphrase what I'm seeing here, but it was a scary scene that played out in Tupelo, Mississippi. So it's Wednesday after 11 high school members collapsed during extreme heat. That's already, that's not even a paragraph of what they wrote. Yeah. And that would make me scared as an instructor to see 11 kids go down. So it's raising serious questions about why were they even allowed to rehearse in those conditions. I will get to what I know in a moment, but I'll just tell you what's happening in here. So both Mississippi and Tennessee football teams must follow strict heat safety rules. Same for the band. If the wet bulb globe temperature, which is the heat factors, it factors in the heat, humidity, sun angle, wind, and then if it goes above 92 degrees, outdoor football practice is not allowed. When we use it, at least, as far as I'm concerned, the latest time I've used it this summer, 13 minutes of instruction, 5 minutes of shade. That's how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go past having 13 minutes of instruction without any, like a water break or a shade break or something like that. So between 90 and 92, football team is limited to 1 hour. Okay, so no pads, no contact, frequent breaks, cold immersion, tubs, that kind of thing. But for marching bands, those same heat policies are not enforced. Students are outside in full sun carrying heavy instruments and moving constantly. Many schools treat the band like an extracurricular activity instead of a sport. Now, I will say the information was not gathered correctly here. Maybe for that program, and even for that program, I'm pretty sure that they take that heat index into consideration and what the actual, the wet bulb globe is saying. But there is different zones. I don't know if y'all do this where you are in Tennessee or where you are in Kentucky, but yellow, there's yellow, orange, and red, and that's how we, at least in drum corps, we're like, okay, we can rehearse for a while, or, hey, we're in the orange, so this is what we have to do. So when you're in orange, you can go for, I want to say 18 to 20 minutes, and then you have to have 5-minute breaks, literal 5-minute breaks in between. Now, water breaks and shade breaks are not the same, so you put those together.
Yeah.
So you're adding some more time for them to have more shade, and they can have water while they're in the shade, but they need to drink more water at the same time. That's where you get that time from. But then when you get into red, you strictly have to stay to that 12 to 13 minutes, and then it's to the shade, and then come back out again, 12 to 13 minutes in the shade until you get out of that zone. So I struggle to think that maybe the school that they were referring to, I'm looking down at right now, but it does say this is how they compare, is a wet bulb globe temperature of 87 usually lines up with the heat index of 95 to 100 degrees. A reading of 90 equals a heat index of 105. Okay, so like y'all were talking about today, how it was where you are.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully those students have recovered. I feel bad for them. My dad was a sports coach. He coached for 20 years in football. He's a basketball coach now. But with every program I've ever been with, like the band program I've worked with, they always worked in conjunction with the AD. AD went around with the ambient air monitor, and if it hit 95, you were done.
Mm-hmm.
And so. I don't know the circumstances. I'm sure that, hopefully the kids are fine on that. But yeah, one thing, particularly with color guard, is, a lot of places, I was lucky enough when I taught outdoor guard that we had places to go inside. So that would be one thing that I would say is if you can, there's got to be times when you can just go inside, particularly right after lunch. And I know a lot of band programs, they kind of do those all day, but that is super important, particularly for color guard, because they're outside a lot. And there's just a physical component that is a lot more demanding, I think, physically than, other sections.
Yeah. Sorry.
One of the programs that I am the staff coordinator for, the program coordinator, this past year, we actually purchased a tarp that is 75 by 100. It goes wall to wall in our gym, and it is a printed football field. No. So we get 4 steps outside the 35 in either direction, which for us, the band is about 80 kids, and that's about as much as we use most of the time. We have some drill sets we can't do in there, but we also get to about, I think, 10 steps behind the front hash from the front sideline. And it's enough that this week in our district, I'm in Tennessee, where bands have not been allowed to rehearse outside, we've managed to get our opener and ballad on because we're in the gym, learning in the air conditioning. The kids are more engaged, tuned in. Now it was an expensive purchase, but what we've gotten out of it already in peace of mind and safety and rehearsal time has been so worth the money that we had to spend.
Years.
You're
using that.
It's going to be using it for years. So if you're interested in something like this, you can also email us, or, me or Nicole, we can help you out with guardcloset.com on ordering something like that. So, shameless plug there, but.
Well, just to wrap this up too, to let you know, so the Tupelo Public District, I'm just going to read this because it's an actual quote, but the Tupelo Public School District said that they did everything that they could to ensure the safety of those students, and that none were hospitalized after being evaluated by medical professionals. Now, this is the quote. As a precaution, 11 Tupelo high school students were taken to North Mississippi Medical Center to be treated for heat exhaustion. After thorough evaluations, the medical staff and trainers, all students were released and they were not hospitalized.
That's good.
Mississippi High School Activities. Yes. The Mississippi High School Activities Association has a strict policy regarding heat in practice and measurements from the wet bulb test, where below the threshold, the Tupelo School District does everything possible just to ensure that the students are safe, whether it's activities or sports. Ample weather, Gatorade, popsicles, cooling tents are always available with the heat, and students are highly encouraged to stay hydrated, even away from practice. That's true. We will use this opportunity to see where we can make improvements to minimize future risks, a spokesperson for the school district said. Also, it has a lot to do about and yes, I'm happy that those kids are safe, but also it's the pre-prep to camp as well. You know what I mean? Like getting yourself acclimated to being outside in the heat, drinking enough water, like literally starting to drink from a water jug.
We tell that to our guard members that are going to go on to do color guard. You need to go outside and stand in the heat for 10 minutes a day, spin for 10 minutes a day, because it's totally different than indoor.
It is. And, if marching band is a sport, I would say it's an endurance sport. Very, very few sports go for 12 hours a day. So,
Yeah, that's true, man. Well, we'll move on because thankfully we're getting into the winter season and we get to do indoor color guard. Unless, if you're in California, but we're not going to talk about that. We do coming from WGI themselves about these new Regional Plus events that are going to happen this year. And this is super intriguing to me. WGI did a press release and they said WGI is proud to unveil a major innovation for the 2026 competitive season, the launch of Regional Plus events. Newly designed regionals mark a significant evolution in the competitive landscape, improving the accessibility of traditional power regional events with an enhanced adjudication model to better serve performers and educators. So they're modeled after power regionals. The Regional Plus events are going to feature a double panel of judges for all finals performances. So every finalist group will be evaluated by 2 full panels. So they'll get a broader and more comprehensive perspective of each show. Doubling the finals panel provides groups with more feedback, growing the program, preparing for world championships. It says that they're doing it because of the challenges associated with securing large-scale venues for the power regionals, especially post-COVID. There are fewer arenas available to host these power regionals. So it sounds like the Regional Plus events are going to be happening in our schools that host like normal regionals, but we're offering that double panel is what I'm getting. Go ahead.
My understanding, WGI actually released like a video series right after that, and I think they had their summer meeting that they had. I guess it was in June, and that was one of the questions that came up during the discussion, which was, would you rather have a bigger arena or more feedback? And I think the general consensus of that meeting is that they would rather have the double panel in order to get more feedback. I think particularly in the A classes, I know we have a regional A guard. A lot of times, we're not allowed to go to critique. So having that extra tape goes a long way, whether it's a 6th judge tape at the local circuit or you get a double panel. So it's very vital, I think, for, the developing guards to do that. I think it's nice to have the big arena. I know as a marcher, I liked being in the stadium. We did a power regional 2 years ago when they brought them back. We did the Mid-East Power Regional. It was good. We went to Centos. And so, you do get a different environment, but I think this is a good opportunity for people to kind of take advantage of the more feedback because, you do have limited budget sometimes for staff.
Speaking of budget too, WGI is spending some money here because they're doing 25 Regional Plus events. So 25 shows where they're paying for a double panel.
So let me figure this out. So we have now we have regular regionals that happen.
Yes.
We have power regionals.
Yes.
Then we have Regional Plus.
Yes.
Yes.
My understanding, they have 1-day events, 2-day events, and Regional Plus. There's no power regionals. I thought that's what a power regional was a 2-day event. Like I said, I'm not an expert in this at all, but my understanding was power regionals were in the big arenas. It was like something like Dayton. And so I think if you actually go on the website, there's 1-day events, 2-day events,
right,
and then the Regional Plus, which is the double panel instead of power regionals.
The article I'm looking at does not mention that we're continuing power regionals, but it says that the events will retain the format and spirit of power regionals. So
that was and I wasn't at that meeting, but from the discussion that I heard, that rules committee meeting, as they went and they said, would you rather have a power regional or would you rather have something where you're going to get more feedback? And the general consensus is that they wanted more feedback.
Okay. Yeah. And that does make sense too. After I looked at the whole regional schedule, how many more regionals there actually are. So, okay. And I think
it's a good idea. I mean, a lot of groups, if you don't get in on day one, depending on where you're going to go, those regionals, they fill up really quick.
Yes. Oh, that's all I see is the days when people are signing up for regionals and all you see in your feed is, I've got my finger on the button. My finger on the button. I'm ready to go. And it's just calm down.
We signed up on day one last year. One of our guards was in tier 3 and we got waitlisted immediately. It's just that's just a reality. So I'm actually glad that they have more regionals. Yeah.
Having the double panel though, going back to your original question, Alicia, like A class itself, and I'm not saying not regional A, but the A class itself, that's going to be a lot more beneficial towards them just because it's such a bloodbath every year. Yes. It really is. There was that one year where everyone who made finals not everybody, but everybody who made finals in A class scored above a 90. And it's just okay. And then there's some people who scored above a 90 and still didn't make A class finals. So maybe that will help with promotions. Maybe that'll
help shrink A class a little bit.
Yes.
A class finals be looking very open class these days.
I mean, I will tell you, we listen to every single tape at every single show.
Oh, yes.
And, we actually get a lot of benefit out of it. So when we go to these events, the double panel would be welcome because, you're getting twice as much feedback at one show.
And it's helpful perspective from two different judges on the same thing, because then we can say, well, they've seen this and we've seen that. So we talked about when that came up, and I'm like, see the benefits of how we can sit and take all of our notes that we need to, because and also WGI is saving money because they don't have to use the big arenas.
True.
So I really hope that this will catapult people more into looking at the judges' sheets, and not just the front, but also the back, so they know what the points of comparison is, and then where the tents are coming from.
Yeah.
Speaking of, it's a really good segue to the other topic we wanted to discuss in the news. And we have no official news on it because nothing has come out yet, but we all were sad at the demise of WGI Certify, and now WGI has announced a new judges training platform that is going to be released. We don't know when. The rumor I heard was August, so hopefully we'll know something about that soon, but it sounds like WGI is reaching into trying to train people on these sheets more and train new judges, which thank God, because we need it.
Yeah. I mean, I do like the fact that there were numbers of different, like, I guess you could say seminars or maybe even trainings that you could sit in that not every, but a lot of different circuits had going on. So like if you wanted to know more about the DA sheets, you can jump on the webinar here. If you wanted to know more about these sheets, you can jump on here, which was super helpful. And for those circuits, and I would love, I was just waiting on that because during the pandemic, I did e-adjudicate. And so, I mean, I just dove into that because I had nothing better to do because I wasn't teaching. And so, that's where I still have all that paperwork. But at the same time, there's something to be said about going into a place physically, and doing that. I'm not sure if that's what they're offering, but like, I would hope that that's what it would be.
Well, I would say this, just, I did trainings for, outdoor and also with WGI. And, I got certified up through, I think it was like level 300. They had like different levels, like 100, 200, all the way up. So I went through the 300 level. I did mostly upstairs certifications. But one thing that I liked about it, and one thing I hope they continue on with, was the mentoring program. I had some, like, as I said earlier, like, I've been blessed with being around a lot of really good teachers, but having a mentor that you go to show with and you sit up there and you do a tape and they analyze it and they listen, they say, hey, make sure you're using those qualifiers, make sure you're using the sheets. And there is an art to that. And it does come with practice. And I think, even as old as I am, I've been doing this a long time, I got a lot out of the mentor program. And so I hope they do keep that, because there's just a lot of wealth and knowledge out there that you can pass off to younger judges.
There is a number of judges that are above me that I'm sure I have annoyed the ever-loving crap out of them, just because I'd be like, hey, can you listen to this tape? Hey, can you listen to this tape? Hey, what do you think of this number management? What do you think of this? And, just because that's my wheelhouse, that's my passion. And so I really hope that whoever is coming into that knows, like, one, good numbers management. And there's other sheets that are tools, I would say, that judges will use, like the Bloom, because a lot of the directors that are coming up, especially in A class, whether they're going into WGI or not, some of those groups would like to go and experience a regional. Well, when they go into those regional settings, they don't always know that verbiage. And so a lot of times too, it's just like, you don't want to alienate those directors, but at the same time, you want to meet them where they are. And then hopefully they will look at the back of that sheet and understand where you're coming from with the words that you're using.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with that, it is time for your Peak Travel Tip of the Week, brought to you by our sponsors at Peak Group Travel, helping you navigate your next adventure, whether it's across the country or just to your next competition.
Hi, everyone. It's time for your travel tip of the week with me. I'm Beth with Peak Group Travel. Are you traveling with delicate or oversized instruments? Be sure to check with your bus company or your airline for any extra fees that you may incur, or any climate-specific needs you have for your instruments. A little extra legwork before you leave could help you avoid costly repairs when you arrive. Don't forget to like and follow Peak Group Travel on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And be sure to email info@peakgrouptravel.com when you're ready to start planning your next performance tour. I'm Beth with Peak Group Travel and your travel tip of the week. Ready to elevate your travel game? Welcome to Peak Group Travel, the ultimate adventure creators. Whether you're planning an unforgettable class trip, a once-in-a-lifetime parade experience for your marching band, or a choir tour full of memorable performance venues, Peak Group Travel handles it all, so you can focus on making memories. From breathtaking international destinations to amazing adventures right here at home, Peak Group Travel customizes every journey to your vision. We're not just planners, we're your partners for the trip you want for your students. Our online registration portal makes managing your pre-trip experience smooth and convenient. We even collect your payments if you'd like. Picture it, effortless planning, unmatched experiences, and smiles that last long after the journey ends. That's the Peak Group Travel difference. And if you choose to partner with Peak on your next tour, and you mention that you heard about us on the On a Water Break podcast, you'll earn a $100 trip credit. Discover why groups everywhere trust Peak Group Travel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and be sure to visit peakgrouptravel.com today. You pick the date, and we'll make it great.
Everyone, we are back.
60-second tech block.
60-second tech block!
60-second tech block.
Don't know why it started repeating. That's okay. We love
It
Ricardo.
was so great we had to play it twice.
We got startled by the screaming.
I just imagine him like recording that in his kitchen. So it's time for our 60-second tech block. This is the segment where one of our hosts or guest clinicians is put on the spot to deliver a nonstop 60-second tech block on a topic that needs some serious attention after that last rep. Our special tech this week has come prepared with 3 topics that she thinks she can talk about for a full 60 seconds straight. No hesitation, no pauses, just technical gold. This week, we're going to throw that over to Angela. Now, Angela, you said your best topics were teaching cadet guard, theater improv techniques, and training scholastic versus independent guards. So, Adam, Nicole, what do we want to hear about Angela?
Well, she is the expert in the cadet guard. I think she could provide a whole lot for that. Yes.
Okay. I was going to say there's a lot of, like I said in the last one, there's a lot of new instructors coming up sometimes, and they are fresh off of tour or aged out. So teaching the training scholastic versus independent groups could be something I don't want to hear.
I'll be the tiebreaker and say I love cadet guard, so I want to hear about teaching the babies. But that just means we'll have to have Angela back to talk about training scholastic versus independent. Maybe in our super special new series we're going to start this winter, I'll do a quick chat with her about it. But Adam, can you pull up a 60-second timer on your phone?
I've got it.
And Angela, are you ready?
Ready.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock and go.
So teaching a cadet guard is a totally different beast because being a second grade teacher, I know how to deal with littles. So when you're dealing with the littles, and my cadet guard are 3rd through 5th grade, and I'm going to tack on some 6th graders that aren't quite ready for the next step. You have the big thing you have to keep in mind is you have to keep it fun and short. Anything you're teaching must be fun and short. I've learned that even when I'm teaching technique like a drop spin, it needs to be somewhat of a game. So we draw little smiley faces on our hands so that when you wave thumbs up, look at the smile. Thumbs up, look at the smile. So everything has to be short because all you hear is, I need a bathroom break. I need a juice break. I need a water break. So I've learned that keep it fun and keep everything you're teaching within 15 to 20 minutes and lots of repetition. And that keeps them engaged and that keeps them wanting to learn more. And I've just seen a lot of success with it and a lot of proud kids.
Oh,
Boom! Right on it. 60 seconds.
No, but for real, that was awesome. I think short and fun. That's the key, right? Oh my gosh, for what it's worth. And this could be my what are we doing this week. I'll hold on to it, but I will just say, if you're not making it fun, you're doing something wrong.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I've learned that if it's not a game and not fun, especially the littles, because they're rolling on the floor more than they're twirling.
And you know what? In all honesty, those kids that you have, you got to do things like that. They grow up to be fantastic performers.
That's where they fall in love with it
and that is the key. In my opinion, I think the one thing about Cadet Guard is you have to instill that passion for performance because they will grow up and, they're going to do something. And if you get them early enough and they enjoy that, they will, we're all here because we love the activity. And it's like, okay, why do we love it? Well, if you just instill that in younger people, you're just teaching the next generation.
Yep. Gotta find your why. And if they find it early, that's great.
Yes.
Oh,
and I do love it. I love the littles. I really do.
I will tell you, when I lived in upstate New York, I did teach a Cadet Guard for 1 year. There's a special place for people who want to teach Cadet Guard.
That's what he says.
It is different.
He comes and visits.
So, I completely understand when you were like, if you don't make it short and fun, I was like, oh, yeah. It was fun. They were doing a lot. But I also know I'm just like, there's a certain age where I can't.
And there's a lot of people that I've had come in just to visit, and they're like, nope, I'm done. Tap out 15 minutes. Yeah. Adam did it with me for years until his career took him otherwise. And he comes in and visits and he goes, I'm good to visit. I'm good to do a lip technique. I'm good. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. But
we all bow down to you. Yes. Seriously. I have a friend, Susie Harloff. She teaches the Cadet Guard over at Avon, and not to mention, because it is Cadet Guard 1, so I'm already like this, but she has 1 million of them.
Yes.
At once. Yeah. I'm already getting goose pimples talking about this. I couldn't do it.
Well, I do say 3rd grade is the youngest I will go, because I know competitive wise, they start at kindergarten, and elementary cadet is kindergarten through 6th. There's no way. I used to be a kindergarten teacher and love me some little 5-year-olds, but not with a flagpole in their hand. Because constantly I'm saying, please do not ride the flagpole like it's a horse. This is to my 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. Please, that is not a lightsaber. Please do not roll up in the silk. It is not a blanket. It is not cold in here. So those are the types of things that you have to, constantly saying. Yeah. But yeah, it does take a different type of person, I would say, I guess.
Meanwhile, I am the person that's riding the flag like a horse around the gym.
Right into my cadet line. It's like your spot is in the back behind the prop.
Well, speaking of that sass.
What doing?
What are we doing?
So that was a really solid 60-second tech block. Hopefully someone out there just got some advice they didn't know they needed. But now we'll switch it up, and it's everyone's favorite, what are we doing? This part of the show where we let loose a little bit, or maybe a lot. This is your chance to rant about something in the marching arts that just doesn't make sense to you. It could be a tradition that needs to go away, or a habit that performers can't seem to break. Maybe it's something that makes you think, why are we doing this? Or why have we started doing this? Whatever it is, it's your moment to call it out. So who's got something they want to get off their chest? Angela.
Me. So my first thing, I love me some swing pole. I do love swing flag. It's beautiful out on the field. And that is what my go-to is for my littles, is to teach them swing pole, because it's something that they can maneuver and handle. But my gripe is we don't count it as equipment. It doesn't count as equipment time. So I'm like, why can we not use that as equipment time? Because especially if we're looking at cadets and we're looking at those beginners, because I've got kids that a 5-foot pole is just too much for them, and you can't find flags for a 5-foot pole, but I can put flags on a swing pole and teach them that technique and that maneuver, but it doesn't count as equipment time.
Yeah,
that's so weird, because I will tell you that I've always looked at that as equipment, and I always look at it during.
Now, I can have somebody literally stand there and hold a rifle or hold a regular flag and not ever twirl it, and then I get equipment time with them while my others are all twirling.
Actually, in the pandemic year, I didn't know that rule either. I've done this a long time. Yeah. I didn't know it didn't qualify for that. And so the judge came over and said, "Oh, you got to do that." So like we actually changed our show just to have somebody like hold a flag. So, but yeah, it's not equipment time. I'm kind of surprised.
Neither are air blades, and that's an easy.
No, I knew that.
That's an easy piece of equipment. You don't like, I guess. But to teach littles how to twirl a rifle, an air blade is a lot easier for them to maneuver, but it doesn't count as equipment time either.
That's fair. I think, like with swing flag especially, it's affecting movement. It's affecting general effect. It's affecting your design. Like, why would it not be equipment?
Yes.
We're seeing it come back in a big way. Like,
I'm actually glad. I've seen a lot of drum corps this year with swing flag. And yeah, I like me some swing flag too.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I love swing flag when it's huge. I call it Texas big when they have the huge swing flags. Because I used to have that with my groups. I'm like, we're going to have a swing flag, but I need it to be like 5 times bigger than what you have going on.
But you have seen some beautiful moments on the Winter Guard floor too, where some of the guards are bringing out those big poles or big swing flags, but I'm like, I'm glad I'm seeing it in other guards, but I want it to count as equipment time. That's just me.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
So I'm with you, Nicole, when you said, it is effect. And you said it too, that it is part of what I have to teach them body carriage. I have to teach them how they are holding it. It's the same types of things I'm teaching, projection and everything, as a regular piece of equipment, but it's just easier for a little short 2.5-foot child.
No kidding.
Yeah.
They will feel successful.
Yes.
At the end of it too.
That's big. That's big, Nicole, that they'll feel successful. Yeah. Who's next? Adam, you got one?
Yeah. Like this is a pet peeve of mine. If you've ever seen our shows, we have tons of props. And what are we doing with 7-minute show changes in regional A? Like you have to be out there for 4 minutes. You've got 90 seconds to get on and 90 seconds to get off. And I run around like a crazy person trying to pick up all the equipment and get it off the floor. And I know everybody has had that, but why can't we just have 10 minutes? Why can't we just have a little bit more time?
Maybe
make it standard for everyone. Yeah.
I think sometimes people just like us running around, like, we're at shows and we're like guards are helping each other. It's like,
you know what? They're probably playing like yakety sax in between everything.
But why can't we just have like 8 minutes?
Yeah.
It sure would make scheduling easier.
Yeah. I mean, I understand, like, there's some shows and the day gets long, but having an extra minute would be helpful.
Be very helpful.
What's a minute?
It's like,
oh, that's good.
Do you have one for us this week, Nicole?
I think I do, because what I do besides, like, when I used to teach, but obviously I'm judging, but like having people get like their clear idea across. So what are we doing? Not making sure that we are, starting as early as possible to, I don't know, order those backdrops that you need, or order those props that you would need, making sure you've gotten the right thing on the floor, make sure you've got the right image that's on your floor, on your flags. Take that time. If you're really wanting to make that the right design for your show, you will go back for another like re-edit of an image or something like that. Do not do AI. Oh gosh, I should change that too. What are we doing getting stuff printed on? Yeah. I don't like that. It's cringy. It makes my skin crawl. It's just like someone could have designed a little bit better, but no, you wanted to take the route to do that, or maybe they paid for someone to do that, which I'm sorry that if that happened to you, really. I'm very it didn't come from me. I'll just tell you that. But like, really take the time to do that. Like, if your uniforms are going to be intricate and very much to the point of your show, take the time. Get in there early. Get in there early. Like, you can never be too early. I think.
Exactly.
Agreed. We ordered our show like design tops for the band to wear. It's the first year we've ever done that and not worn band uniforms. And we had that order placed before the end of May. And they were here like June 10th. It was wild how fast they came, and we got in before the rush. And we let that drive I agree with you completely, getting in early. And also, like, it's scary. Why are we stressing ourselves out doing everything last minute?
Yes.
Yes.
You just don't really think about it. It comes with experiences. Like you just think, well, you can just magically order a uniform, and then you order it the first time. You're like, okay, we'll have it for you in 10 weeks.
You're like, yeah.
Nice. But I mean, I work with companies like that right now, and it's becoming marching band season. And honestly, if you're getting in with me right now, like, those production times take anywhere from 6 weeks to 10 weeks. And they're like, can we get it by? And I'm like, no, look at your calendar and count with me. Like, let's be for real honest, and you have to pay by then. So I feel so bad for like the band directors that come in and like they just got their job last week.
Yeah.
To go in and meet and sign paperwork and do the in-person training,
The onboarding training. Yeah.
all of that. And then, let's meet some kids. Let's meet some parents. Let's meet whoever else you're working with. Oh, right. You have a show to put on. All right. Let's meet the drill writer and the designer and all this other stuff. Okay. So you don't have any music ordered? Fantastic. Let's order the music and all this other stuff. Wait a minute. Got to go back and go to the people in accounting. Who are you again? Like, I feel bad for them. I really, really do. Because they get the runaround, and it's just like, okay, well, on my end, I'm going to help facilitate and get your designs to you, but you've got to put your face in whoever else's face and be like, this takes 10 weeks.
Yes.
You need to spend the money now.
Yeah.
And
I get
it's so important too, because, those little details, like you said, about the way that a uniform looks, the way that a flag, that goes a long way, not only with just preparation, but like how the kids think about the show.
Yep.
How you ultimately do really does hinge on those details. So I think the more you can plan, I have a notebook. I write down show ideas all the time. I may sit on a show for 2-3 years. Yeah. And then just pull out, say, oh, this is the right time to do it. But like, the more that you can plan, the better off you're going to be. Yes. That's a great point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That deserves applause. My what are we doing is not the one I thought of earlier. I'm going to save that for another episode, but mine is short and sweet. What are we doing performing with our mouths hanging open all the time? Just close your damn mouth. Every time I see someone dancing and their mouth is hanging up, like, that's not performance. That's just like
Preach.
a broken jaw. Close your mouth. I hate it. Do something else with your face. That's all I got. Yeah.
I have nothing more to say than thank you for saying that.
Good job, everyone. Set your equipment down. Gush Go.
All righty. So now that we got all that off our chest, I really had to. We'll get into our Gush and Goes. So welcome to Gush and Go. This is your chance to shout out something awesome that's happening in your life, whether it be marching arts related or not. Maybe you're excited about a performance, a student success, a big life event, or just something cool you'll brag about. This is no negativity here, just unfiltered hype. So who wants to start? You want to go in that same order? Angela, you want to kick us off?
Yes. So I'm so pleased to say that I just got done a week or so with Cadet Camp. I had a free camp open to anybody, 3rd grade through 6th grade, whether they had experience or didn't have experience. And I had every day over 35 kids show up. Yes. And of our IRA kids, they came in and helped. They were junior instructors, and 5 hours for 3 days, so 15 hours. And yes, with a lot of breaks in there. And then we actually taught them a little performance that they performed, a 90-second performance for their parents and their families. And it was very successful. I have had so many parents, like, as we're sitting here, parents are saying, when are we having open gym? When can my child come do this? My child's going into the 3rd or 4th grade. They're very interested in it. And it just, it's something that I'm proud of, but I'm also proud that 5 of our middle school and high school kids, I asked them to come help me, and they knew nothing except for you're going to go work with a bunch of little kids. And it went fabulous. And kids that aren't truly our leaders, but we kind of pushed them into that role. And it was just so good for my heart to see these kids take what they knew going back to when they were in 3rd or 4th grade, learning to teach a drop spin or to teach a windmill or a butterfly or, something like that. Even the prayer tosses. I mean, when they did the prayer tosses, those kids would have thought they all, tossed a big double or something. It was one of those things. I was like, but it was exciting to have that many kids show up every day and parents to truly be teary-eyed and thankful that their child got to do something like that. So,
Aww.
because a lot of these
babies,
they don't excel in anything else. And I have a background in special education, so I will take anybody. And so that made my heart very happy to see kids there, even with special needs, that were able to twirl with us. So that made me happy.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. That is awesome. Who's next? Adam, was it you?
I'll go. Yeah, my Gush and Go this week. I love to see, as we said earlier, of our members, they have lines of their own. We have staff people that have their own lines that they do for other schools. And I got a chance this year. I kind of stepped away from doing the outdoor stuff as much. I judge still a little bit, but I get a chance now to kind of go see my students and people that we work with. And I'm really happy to see people out there doing their thing now. And it's kind of interesting at this point in my career, I get to see people that I've helped go on to do things. And that's been actually really rewarding. You go in, got to see other people doing their thing, not only performing, they're performing with sound sport, or they're performing in drum corps, or they're on a staff somewhere with the drum corps, or they're teaching their own line. And it's kind of neat to see. And so, when you get to that point, like, you really like seeing younger people kind of step up and kind of take it into a new direction. And so, that's been kind of neat this summer to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last summer, there was a past student of mine who aged out of Crown. And when I was in Texas, I taught them, I gave them their first rifle.
Yeah.
To spin with, and I'm like, you're in Crown, look at you, not ugly crying. I mean, it was just really, it touched me, but I was just like, this is great. What a full circle moment. I need to quit teaching. Thank God.
Yeah, it's also nice when you go to a group and you'd be like, hey, I don't have to wait till everybody's gone. I'll see you later.
Yes.
So yeah, there's that too.
There's that too.
I'm going now.
Yes. In a decent hour.
Oh gosh. I know that I'm next on the Gush and Goes. Probably say that I am. I guess there's a lull in between the sun when marching bands start on it, and that's only for me, right? I know that lull is not a lull for everyone else because they're going to be in band camp. And I'm excited to have nothing going on and recharge my battery. I am one of those people, when my battery life goes pretty low, or my social battery, that's what I meant. When it gets low, I can't fill anybody else's cup if my cup is empty. So I'm real big into making sure that I can do self-care, maybe have a couple of days when I'm doing skincare or something like that. I know everybody's like, that's so millennial of you. And it's just I know I'm not a millennial, but those things work for me, when I'm not rushing around or anything like that. But I'm about that because I actually do have a handful of clients that I'm working on either uniforms, backdrops, flags, or choreography for all around the US. So it'll be nice to have them get their things, get used to those things, and then see the finished product with all the bells and whistles, with all the drag.
Mm-hmm.
With all the drag. Let me see what you've done. Let me see your show after all the drag is on.
I like it. My Gush it's short. I took on way more clients this summer than I should have, and I absolutely overwhelmed myself accidentally. Now, I told myself a couple summers ago, I had 6 clients, and I told myself I would never do that again. I would limit to 5. Well, this year I have 9. So, head spinning off a little bit, but we have completed camp for virtual choreography now. I say we, me, camp or choreography now for 4 of those groups. And like putting one of those groups to bed last night, like getting everything in the Google Drive and like sending it off and being done with it was like, I cannot breathe, because now the rest of it does not feel overwhelming. Everybody at least has their openers. Everybody at least has their ballads. Well, we're getting there.
I totally understand. I want to help everybody, but it gets overwhelming. And just like Nicole said, like, you know, if you don't recharge your batteries, you can't give what you don't have. And if you don't have any energy, you can't give it. So super important that you got to recharge those batteries.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been doing the whole like working 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., running to the high school, and you know, evening band camp is happening, and I'm in the chorus room writing choreography, but somebody needs help with something, so I've got to run to that. It's like it's been some long days.
Yeah.
So,
anybody know of a good spa in the Tennessee area for Alicia? And in
the comments.
Drop in the comments.
Yes.
We will need it.
We're gonna on a water break massages. Next feature.
Gush and stay. Let's go.
Thank you guys for a great rehearsal this week, and thank you for spending time with us today. Angela and Adam, where can we find Meridian on social media?
We're on all the basic Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It's we brand ourselves pretty good. We actually have a website. It's meridianwinterguard.com, but we're on all the socials under Meridian WG.
Yep.
Yeah, if you Google Meridian Winter Guard, you're going to find us on all the major platforms.
Yep. Awesome. So be sure to go follow them, especially because they're going to be back around this winter as one of our featured groups. And if you have a question or a good topic to talk about, email us at onawaterbreakpodcast@gmail.com, or find us on social media and DM us if you want to be on the show. Remember, we have that form now that you can fill out. The link is in our description. And if you want to be a guest, we love having new people on the podcast, so check out that link in our bio. You can also take out your phone, make a short video, send it to us. Maybe you'll see yourself posted on the podcast. Also, don't forget we have a YouTube channel, and go subscribe to that. You can see us all there in our post-rehearsal glory. And before you close out of your podcast listening app, go subscribe, write us a review, and share this with a friend. Follow us on social media at On a Water Break, and we will see you at the next rehearsal on a water break.
The On a Water Break podcast was produced by Jeremy Williams and Christine Reams. The intro and outro music was produced by Josh Lyda. To learn more, visit lydamusic.com. And until next time, thanks for tuning in.